Hey, it's Kevin DeWitt here. I wanted to show you a new product that I just got. This product I actually ordered on a Kickstarter program. Now, this is the first time I've ever bought anything off Kickstarter. I've never bought anything before. I've looked at Kickstarters before, and while some of the things I've been tempted with, none of them have really grabbed my attention too much because a lot of them are quite weird, unique, or one-hit wonder type things that I think, I'll use once and never use again. But this product really did catch my eye, and I thought, now this is something that could be really useful if it's developed correctly. So I took a chance and invested in it on Kickstarter to get a discount, obviously. And it's called the Roadie 2, which is a guitar tuner with a bit extra. So to show you, so once I did the Kickstarter, applied, obviously they went through development, took a little while, and I saw the progress and things like that, and things came along, they were successful, and they started to fine-tune their product and then send it out, and then they sent it out. So the item was shipped all the way from China and to Australia, where I am, and it came in a post bag like this, as you would expect. And then inside the post bag, we've got some nice bubble wrap, and we have the box. So it's a nice solid box. So you might not think there's much protection, but like I said, it survived from China to Australia with no troubles. The box doesn't even look like it's dinged, and it's very solid. So that's the front of the box there, Roadie 2. And on the side. So then we open it up, pull the sleeve off, very simple. Again, lift the lid off, it's very nicely packed. And we've got a little accessories box here, a little bit of foam, and then we have the Roadie 2. So I'll just quickly show you in the accessories. So in the accessories, we have a USB cable. Now this is for charging, so this is a rechargeable device. And we've got a little product manual, which is nicely done. It's in it's very thick, but it's thick because it's done in lots of different languages, so there's not really much in the way of instructions for it as such. And then back to the main item here, which is the Roadie 2. So we'll see if we can get this on camera. It looks like that, and we go to the front and around the other side and the back, and then there's the top. Okay, and on the bottom we've got the little USB charger. So we can turn it on from the back here, get a nice little light on there, and then you'll see, hopefully, there's a screen on there. So I'll do some close-ups of this in other shots, but at the moment I'm just showing you this. And we can turn this knob here to select different tunings and all that sort of stuff. So I'll have to run through close-ups of that and the application. So here's the app, and you can create instruments, as many as you like, with any sort of tuning on it. You can synchronize, pick tunings, change some settings, pretty simple things like that. So if we go into settings, you can see you can add multiple Roadie devices. You can upgrade them. You can change your settings, so you got beeps, vibrations. That's the front LED tune up. You can reorder the notes. You can go into left hand mode. But right now I'm just going to show you how it works on the actual guitar. So the reason this is different is because you'll see here we've got this thing here, and we put this over the tuners. So hold on while I get a guitar. Okay, so I've got an acoustic guitar. So what we do is we pick our tuning type. So I'm just going to do standard. And once we pick our tuning type from here, or our instrument, we basically click the button, changes color, and we get some notes on here. And we can skip notes if we want, strings, but we basically tune from E, low E to high E. So put this over your tuning peg, and then we pick a note, and it turns. And that little beep and the green light on the back indicated that it's in tune. Now this LED here, you can have that to turn on or off as you're tuning. That's in the settings. And then once it beeps, we go to the next string. And we basically keep going. That one's in tune. Now we go to the bottom strings and try not to drop the guitar. It's hard to hold that way. And then we're finished, and it's all in tune. So in theory now, our guitar should be in tune. Sounds pretty in tune to me. So there's other functions we can do with this. So we can actually do lots of different tunings. So you can program any sort of tunings you want. You can do drop Ds, half step down, open Ds, open Gs, you name it, we can do it. So I can show you an example of that in a second. We'll do that in a minute. And you can even name your instrument. So if you have you're a proper gigging artist and you have a set of instruments and maybe each guitar type has a different tuning, then instead of writing the tuning down, you might actually name the guitar. So it might be, you know, Black Ibanez, and that is tuned to standard. And then say Red Strat, maybe that's tuned to open D, and you can name them like that in the application as well. So if I go back to the main thing, what we can also do is select an option here, which is wind unwind. So if we were stringing a guitar, so restringing, we can turn that on, and then what we can do is actually turn the knob to start it spinning in either direction to unwind or wind up strings, slow or fast, and it will just keep going. So we can quickly wind on strings or unwind strings without turning our hands, just this motorized thing. So I'm really impressed with it. Like I said, it can do different tunings, so let's do that. So if I go back to my instrument list, and let's go with an open D. Okay, so we go with an open D. So at the moment, this is standard. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it on the headstock, get it in the shot. Now I've also got this program to do a tune up. So if you know, generally it's a good idea with guitar strings to keep them in tune for longer, that you wind your strings down below the note and tune up to the note. So if you go too high, you want to still go below and then back up. So you can actually program that in the settings to do this automatically. So when it gets close to the note, it'll actually make sure that it always tunes up to the note instead of tuning down to the note. Alright, so if we believe that, it should be in open D. Sounds pretty close. Now, as with any tuning, if you do massive changes in tuning, sometimes because the neck tension changes, it can be a good idea to tune a couple of times. But that's pretty good. So we can do any tuning like that, and that's fine. And obviously we can take it back up to standard if we wish. Alright, so I haven't been using it for very long. Sometimes I get some mixed results, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so great. It seems to struggle a tiny bit with the low notes. Now, one other thing to keep in mind, this is mainly for guitars. You can do mandolins, banjos, etc. As long as your tuner heads fit in here. They are actually either working on or just about to release what they originally were calling a bass model for bass guitars, which was going to be more powerful and I guess fit different size heads. I think they're now calling it a pro version I guess if it had been called a Pro version in the start, I might have ordered that one instead of this one, because you can do guitars, bass guitars, everything. And like I said, it's going to have a more powerful motor and might be a bit better quality than this one, not sure. But so far, yeah, mixed bag. It's a great concept. I think it works quite well, but I think they just need to improve it a little bit, because it does struggle with some of the low notes, and sometimes it goes a bit funny. When I was stringing up a guitar, I did break a couple of strings, especially the high E's, because sometimes it seems to go a little bit fast when it's tuning, especially when you're tuning up from low notes to high notes, and if it goes too far and it gets it wrong, it can snap the strings. So it'd be nice if they slowed that tuning down, especially on the higher strings, and maybe sped up on the low strings, because it seems to not really go very far on the low strings and gets it all a bit confused. So not sure about that, but yeah, check it out. It's called the Roadie 2. It's got an app and everything else. I think it's good. Not necessarily cheap. I mean, yeah, if you want to just tune your own guitar with a cheap little headstock tuner, you can do that. But I thought this was a good idea. And it's sort of an alternative to how a lot of the new guitars and that manufacturers are starting to put on tuners on the back of the headstocks. If you don't want to have one of those on the back of the headstock, then I guess this is an alternative to that, because it's not fitted to anything. You just put it on the tuners, and in theory it does the same thing, because you're tuning to whatever tune, whatever you want to tune it to. So I guess it's an alternative to that. So you might prefer that as opposed to having something that's fitted on the back of a headstock, or you might just prefer to tune the way you've always tuned in the past. But yeah, check it out, Roadie 2, and see what you think. So I hope it's been helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in another one.